Hi, everyone, and welcome to Baka Bitches. We are two 30-something-year-olds who enjoy drinking and discussing anime. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Hannah, and we'll be watching Ouran High School Host Club. And just fair warning, we will be watching this as a dub and not a sub. Don't come at us. Other disclaimer is that there will be spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, pause and watch the episode yourself and then come back and listen along. We will also be going over explicit content and we'll probably say some pretty explicit things, so listener, beware, and it's to your own discretion.
We hope you enjoy. Pour yourself a drink and join us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Baka Bitches. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we are two 30-something-year-olds who like to drink and talk about anime and mainly shit on it.
And mostly drink.
And speaking of drinks, what are we having?
All I can think about right now is the fact that my drink is hardcore bubbling right now.
Oh.
It's like fizzy bubbling, and I'm like, I wonder if that's getting picked up on our mics. Probably not. But it sounds very loud to me. So tonight we are having champagne.
Yes, love it.
Because we're classy.
We are.
One of the cheapest possible champagnes.
Absolutely.
That came in a liter.
You get so much of it.
It was a liter of champagne mixed with a vodka stick. A flavored vodka stick.
It's really like a flavored thing that you're technically supposed to put.
It's so classy.
Vodka, like to make instant cocktail, would you say? Like instant
You're just supposed to eat them like adult otter pops. Like,
yeah. Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. Like outdoor barbecues, you're just supposed to eat them like ice cream pops.
So they already have alcohol in them?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I thought they were just like flavor sticks.
No, that's why your mentality is where it is right now.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Gosh, thank you.
It makes so much sense. The pieces are all coming together.
It's all making sense. I am connecting the dots.
So while this is our third drink, it's really more like our fourth or fifth because of how many cocktail sticks there's been in here.
You know what?
Yeah.
No wonder it's hitting.
It's a thing.
Okay, cool. Well, I love them even more now.
You're welcome. What's our episode tonight?
Yes, let me get that synopsis for you. This episode, we are on episode 5, y'all. And it is called, Futago Kenkasuru. I don't know, I'm melting. It's fine. There's no English thing in the screen capture. It's fine.
Yeah, I was like, this is why I didn't want to read the synopsis. This is all you.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay, let me do it more seriously.
My Japanese speaking friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do this. Okay, so anyways, episode 5 is about Hikaru and Kaoru. They're trying to trick Haru into letting them visit her home by playing the Which One is Hikaru game. Or Hikaru. Haruhi correctly identifies Hikaru, commenting on the differences between them. This triggers a feud between the twins to the point of dyeing their hair pink and blue in order to be told apart. The feud carries into the classroom and later, the refectory, which is basically the really fancy cafeteria, where a melee ensues. Haruhi learns that they've never had a fight before, wondering if they know how to end it. Back in Music Room 3, the host club, Kaoru threatens Hikaru with Bielzenef, a cursed doll obtained by Umahito Nekazawa, president of the Black Magic Club. Haruhi snatches the Bielzenef doll from Kaoru, chastising the twins for taking things too far, adding that if they don't apologize immediately, she will never let them visit her home. She then sees that Kaoru only wrote blank on the back and realizes the fight was staged. So that is the full synopsis. There's obviously a little bit more detail that we'll go through. So, generally, let's kind of get the general feels out of the way. How'd you feel about this episode?
I felt confused because it was so blatantly thrown in our face that every young woman's fantasy is to be with twins. Specifically ones that are lustful over each other.
Yeah, that,
So it makes me question whether or not I've really ever been a young woman.
yeah, fair. Same.
Because while I do find the idea of good-looking males alluring, I don't know about twins or even siblings.
Yeah.
That's a little iffy for me.
That's a little
Especially
much.
with how aggressively sexual they are with each other.
Yeah.
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 Because it's
Yeah.
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 Because it's so rare to see the twins actually flirt with other girls or even other guys.
Yeah, they pretty much
aside from themselves.
only deal with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. Because they kind of generalized it when they're like, oh yeah, isn't it every girl's fantasy to be in love with two boys at once, and it must be better to be twins, blah blah blah. But it's like, well, not if let's say you're in a throuple with twins, right?
Okay.
And they're just all
following.
over each other, and you're just the third wheel,
The awkward third wheel. You're
it's
just the cameraman.
honestly, yeah. Let's document this here. Record.
That's kind of what it would feel like
It would.
in this kind of relationship. Very odd.
Yeah.
But the episode it talks a lot about like, this is every young woman's fantasy. This is what every girl wants. And then, besides Haruhi, like the other girls in the show, they're all just,
They're so like girly crushy about it, and I just don't understand why. I don't get it. I will never get this option. I know that in this episode specifically, they kind of cover it like why they're so popular in the host club, blah blah blah, why they're so good for business, and I don't know. It feels like kind of business, but it feels like so much of a stress, like not a stress, a stretch. To be like, oh yeah, that's why they're so valid in this club. Because it's, okay, great. Twins. Identical twins. Hot looking men. Fantastic. Here for it. I'd rather them be making out with me and not each other.
Fair.
That's the thing.
Did you ever know twins growing up?
Yes, actually. But not in the sense of identical twins. They were fraternal, so one was they're still alive.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, I had to throw that out there just in case. But one is a girl and one is a boy.
Oh, okay.
So that's what fraternal twins are. Or at least that's what they told me. Maybe they're lying to me. I don't know. But that's what they said they are, so I'm going to believe them on that.
Okay.
So those are the only twins I've known outside of, there were two girls that were twins that used to live in my neighborhood when I was younger, but they were like so bratty,
Wow.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Everyone in this show is so bratty.
Okay, fair. But that's about the most exposure that I've had with twins. What about you?
I can't think of a single pair of twins that I've ever known.
Oh, shit. Huh.
Yeah, not at all.
It's gonna be real trippy when you run into them. You're like, oh shit.
Didn't I just see you?
Do you guys really exist? Is this real?
Is this real life?
They're like jackalopes.
Am I in an anime right now? Are you guys gonna start making out with each other? Yeah. It's gonna be my number one question.
As it should be. You're gonna be like, no, ma'am, we're just trying to buy a Pepsi.
Yeah.
To share.
Oh, goodness.
2 straws.
Goodness.
1 straw.
Oh. 1 cup? What?
1 cup? What? Well, there you go.
No?
No, sometimes.
Our viewers might be too young to remember those days.
Oh, no.
Let's hope
Oh,
not
no.
too young.
Yeah, that makes me feel old.
Maybe we should have named our podcast something like that, like 2 girls, 1
2
podcast.
Old bitches. No.
2 old Betties, 1 podcast.
2 old bitches. But it's about anime. Yeah. No one is gonna catch that. It's fine.
Oh,
2
gosh.
old biddies. No. I think we're good with the name.
2 girls, 1 cup of noodle.
This is just evolving right before
All
our
right.
eyes. Yeah.
So then, out of nowhere, black magic voodoo kid pops his head in, but won't come into the room.
Yes.
He won't come into the host club room because it's too bright. And he might, I don't know, disappear. He might
melt in the sun.
He might melt.
Yeah.
If he comes into the light. So he's just got his hood up. And he just starts whispering black magic voodoo.
Yeah, he starts, trying to, recruit members to his club, which is really a cult.
Talking about his dolls. His dolls.
Little cat puppet thing. His last name is Nekozawa. So I guess maybe that's why it's a cat.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I'm just assuming here.
So I feel like as far as the anime goes, it feels like if this event were to happen, it would have been very out of place in the anime, but then they tie it all back in later.
Yes.
Because it's so random. Like, he just pops in and is like spewing some bullshit. And then he's like, okay, bye.
Yeah, because...
And then we really don't get closure on that again until the very end. But, I mean, what we learn at the very end is, like, it's the setup with the doll and everything.
Like,
so
one twin was going to curse the other with it, and that was that.
Right. Know? So our twins, they are very insistently trying to get themselves invited over to Haruhi's house for some odd reason. Why do they want to go to her house?
Why?
What is the reason? What purpose?
Which is very on par with the rich. They want to, see how
they just want to judge
the
her.
Other class slums it.
They just want to judge her.
They're bored. They want to experience, commoner class life, I guess, to get rid of the boredom, which, let me tell you, you will be even more bored.
Yeah,
coming from a commoner class.
They really want to go to her house.
Yeah.
And she really just doesn't want to have anyone over because she just like that.
Yeah.
It's not specific to the twins. No. I feel like she just doesn't want anyone over.
Yeah. It would probably be different if it were friends that she might have made that were, normal at school. But taken to the fact that this is a whole host club who have their own neuroses, like on an individual level, and then you get them all together in one room and it's chaos, She doesn't want that in her safe space, her house. I get it, girl. I wouldn't want to invite those people over either.
Heard.
And then...
It depends on how good looking they are.
Fair. It
depends on the percentage on, are they going to make out with me or are they going to make out with their sibling?
Ooh, yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
You have to measure the levels.
You gotta weigh it out.
Like, there's, kind of like that one episode of How I Met Your Mother when it was like the crazy chart. You know? Yeah.
The crazy to hotness chart.
Yes. And honestly, that's not too far off with this group, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Their
all
hotness
off the
factor
scales
has to,
on hotness.
Yeah, so
and they are all
they're crazy,
super cray. Super cray.
Yeah, it's like that. They all have the crazy eyes. So, yeah, so
she's hesitant to have them in her safe space.
Well, I wouldn't say she's even hesitant. She just immediately shuts that shit down.
Yeah.
She's like...
And so then they're like, hee, let's play a game.
Mm-hmm.
And the game is, can you guess who is who?
Yes. And
immediately.
Everyone else, all of the normal plebs around them that go to this school, they might be rich, but they're still plebs. They don't know. They can't tell the twins apart. And Haruhi is just immediately like, oh yeah, that one's Kaoru, that one's Hikaru, do better. And they're like, haha, no, that's not true.
And then she really gives some insight for how she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Which triggers this cutscene from their poor, sad childhood.
Yes.
On the swing set in the park, in the rain.
Yeah.
All the kids can't tell them apart.
And yeah,
she
it's
can.
kind of... She's different. She's just
special.
built different,
She's
Stephanie.
Yeah,
that was like a really interesting thing. And granted, I'm not a twin. I don't really know how it all works, but they're showing the twins in the past where, you know, they're at this other rich school being little kids and they're just holding each other's hands, and this really nice girl comes up and is just like, you guys want to play with me? Come on, let's play. And then they start, well, who are you talking to? Both of you, silly. And, you know, they use their twin-ness, their identicalness as a wall, as a defense mechanism.
Yeah, because I was going to say, that seemed very friendly. That seemed very inviting. Doesn't matter. As kids, you're automatically friends with the other kids.
Yeah.
You go to the park, and there's a kid that's your, like, age and size. Yeah. And they're just automatically, like, your friend.
Yeah.
You don't really got to use words.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, you want to, like, build piles of sand over there?
Yeah, in second grade, one of my best friends, we didn't even speak the same language.
Oh.
I met her at my grandma's apartment.
Uh-huh.
I was in the pool. My grandma took me and my younger cousin to the pool. Uh-huh. And me and this other girl, we locked eyes.
Oh.
And we swam to each other. And we were best friends.
I love it.
For like 2.5 years. And she didn't even speak English for most of it because they had just moved over. She like only spoke Korean. But I remember we always like communicated through like sign language and not real like ASL.
You made your own.
Like we made our own language to talk to each other.
That's cool.
And we were best friends, and then like so eventually she learned English.
And then she wasn't
I
fun
didn't
anymore.
really learn Korean. I learned several words in Korean, which later when I dated a Korean guy, he was very impressed. And then I had to be like, that's the extent of it. I know how to say piss and shit in Korean.
Of course it's those.
Because what else would a second grader teach another second grader how to say in Korean? Besides swear words.
Yeah, honestly.
This is what we're doing.
Nothing cute, nothing...
But the only point I'm trying to make is that, like, kids will find a way to be friends with kids because that's, like, inherently what you do, especially at that young of an age. Like, in high school, that's definitely different.
Oh, it changes.
But, you know, when you're, like, in the realm of, like, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's really a lot more just like, hey, kid, same size. Potentially same gender.
Yeah.
Like, we're friends. And, like, that's it. And, like, that was not the scenario that was happening here. This little girl was like, hey, let's play. And they were like, you don't even know us.
You must identify us on an individual basis. Which then
you don't even know me.
Even if she had gotten
Dad.
it right, you know that they would have lied to her and been like, oh, no, you got it wrong.
Just to have something to feel superior about, which is kind of how I feel like they were being.
Yeah, their twin-ness was a superiority complex, and
like nobody can understand. We're just elevated above everybody else.
Because we're identical, so we're far superior, which, I mean, really, it just means that one embryo copy-pasted. That's all it means.
It's kind of worse. Just kidding.
Honestly, yeah, you're not even, like, individuals.
It's just a Control-C, Control-V mechanism happening.
That ain't nothing. I do that for work, baby.
I do it every day.
No, but, like, you know, and we don't really know where that defense mechanism comes from for them. It's just there, I guess. And so you get a little bit of backstory, but not any causation of why they act that way. So it was shocking to them that Haruhi was able to figure it out. And even when they tried to lie about it, she's like, no.
She had such confidence.
Oh, yeah. And she was right. She was like, 1,000%, like,
and
right.
she knew that their personality type would be to be, like, combative about it. To be like, ha, you don't actually know. And I feel like she knew that. She was like, nope.
No, I'm good. I got it. Because you're X-way. And,
I'm gonna be honest, I did not notice that difference in the anime itself. No. I can't distinguish the two.
No. I mean, one hair swoops one way, the other swoops the other way.
Didn't even notice that.
Yeah, well, that's why they wear the hats when they play the game. Because they didn't notice. I still don't honestly know which one is which, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't care to know, because they're just there to be weird incestual, like, fodder in the show. And outside of that, I don't really think they bring that much to the table other than the crazy shenanigan troublemakers.
Yeah, I'm here for the jokester. I'm here for the mischievousness. But I would be just as here for that if there was one of them instead of two.
Yes. And it would be it would be so much different if they didn't play up so much about the twin-cestual thing. Every time.
There's so much embracing. There's so much cupping. There's so many legs entangled together. It's just like limbs everywhere.
It is.
Where did you get all these limbs? What are you, a fucking spider?
Absolutely. That's what they turn into at night. They take off their human skin costumes and they're just like spiders.
Oh, yeah.
They're just spiders.
Wait, Black Widows are female, aren't they?
Because
they eat the men. They eat the men.
Yeah, but I mean, technically, there's male Black Widows
at some point, but then they dead.
Yeah,
then
they get deaded.
They get dead.
Anyways,
fair.
Outside of that, you know, it would be so much different. Like, I would be way more interested them as characters had they used their twin-ness influence to flirt with, like, one girl, one person at the same time. And
I might be kind of here for that.
Absolutely. I'm, like, 1,000% here for that.
Oh, okay. I'm 50-50. I would have to see how it looks and how I feel. Like, if I could be full swooning, maybe.
If I could get double trouble, like, headed my way, my direction, it's like double fisting margaritas. You know what I'm saying?
I thought we were going double fisting somewhere else. Or just
double fisting.
Oh.
You know, sure, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Don't we all love a good double fisting on a Wednesday night before Christmas? We're recording before Christmas, guys.
Oh, yeah, just in case you didn't know.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, I'm going to hell. It's fine. We're fine. So, you know, that would make it better, but no,
they're here for each other only.
Yeah. And I know we talk about it every episode, but I don't think...
Because it happens every episode.
Every episode. And I have to complain about it every episode because it's just... Why? Why? Anyways. And especially because this episode is very much centered on them.
I mean, yeah. So it's titled after them.
Yeah.
The title is The Twins Fight.
Thank you. That's great, because I did not get the title in there.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
So anyways, this fight between the twins, Hikaru and Kaoru, get to a point where they're not only insulting each other, they end up both insulting their mom.
Yes.
At the same time.
Heckin'
with the same
rude.
insult. Your mom wears too much makeup or something like that.
Yeah. It was such a low-grade insult.
So low grade.
But I would just... I cannot.
I know.
As the mother of two boys who are not twins, guys.
Not twins.
Do not even go there.
No.
Yeah. I feel like I can't. I don't know.
Like, excuse me? You can fight with each other all you want, but, like, don't bring me into this.
Right.
You know, like, that should be... I mean, you know, I get people insult each other's mothers. That's why there's yo mama jokes, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
But, like...
The second one of my kids says something mildly insulting, I'm just gonna peace out. I'm just gonna just gonna pick them up, throw them in the dumpster, start over.
Be like, I guess I have one child now.
Yeah, I guess you don't have a brother. It's just you.
Commit that to memory.
I would think twice if I were you.
Let that sink in.
I mean, fortunately, my kids are pretty young that they're you're the prettiest, you're a princess.
I love it.
You just are the most amazing because you make us peanut butter jelly. And I'm like, yeah,
yes,
you're
right.
damn right, I do. And you're welcome. For your third peanut butter jelly in a row. You're welcome.
Or husband.
We'll never make them as good as I will.
Never.
Because they won't use 88-cent Walmart bread for it.
MSG. Oh, that's what
Also the MSG. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Topic. Yeah, so...
What else happened in this episode?
Well, the next day, after this big, explosive mama insulting fight, they come in, one twin after another, and yet again, I can't remember who is who, but one comes in with pink hair first.
Yes.
And the other walks in soon after with blue hair.
Yes.
Granted, they're both styled the same way.
And they both had the idea to dye their hair.
Yes. Like, one didn't just dye their hair pink or blue and the other one kept their hair normal. No. They both had to dye their hair an obscene color. And
the school allowed it, of course.
Yeah. Because they're straight up like, yeah, my hair's pink. Yeah, my hair's blue.
Yeah.
And... and yet they proceed to style it the same, and the fighting continues between the two of them. And even during this really serious rift, Honey is just low-key like, yeah, I've never seen them fight, like, ever. And I've known them for so long, since, I don't know, kindergarten, middle school, something like that. They used to play with each other when they were younger, as kids. And so Honey's like, I've never seen them act this way before. This is concerning. And they're just at it. And at the cafeteria, I'm not going to use the word refectory because who fucking uses that word? At the fancy cafeteria where they serve the fanciest food.
Which we do find out more about.
We do. They're both in line at the same time and they try to order at the same time. And they end up ordering the same thing. And then they're both like, no, I don't want that anymore. And then second time they order the same thing. Third time they order the same thing. They're just so exhausted about it. And Haruhi, being Haruhi, brings her own lunch every day. And usually it's probably like a leftover from dinner or something like that. And so she sits down at a table, and one of the twins, the one that dyed their hair pink, they sit down and they're like, hey, you want to trade your lunch for mine? Because I ended up ordering stuff I don't like to eat, just to get away from my twin, blah, blah, blah. So Haruhi's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Here you go. Here's my home lunch. And she gets to try fancy food. I don't even think it was fancy tuna, what she's...
It was Fancy Feast.
It was Fancy Feast. The dessert kind of looked like it, anyways. It was probably
Did look like
a
cat
flan.
food. Did look like cat food.
Because that's a typical, like, thing that's drawn... Like, a typical dessert that's drawn is like a flan.
Dessert in school lunch.
I don't know.
Weird.
Unless it's like a Rice Krispie treat or something from the vending
I didn't
machine.
even get that. I would have to, like, pay 65 cents to get, like, fruit snacks.
Oof. You know, there was a vending machine at my school, but you had to go, like, all the way to the gym to get it. But
Ew, gross.
I know.
A snack machine by the gym?
It wasn't a
Blasphemy.
snack machine. It was an ice cream machine. It was one of those. And they had and I don't know if anyone else likes it, but it was one of my favorites. And it still kind of is. But it's the strawberry shortcake ice cream bars. You know, it had like... No? You've never... It's like from Blue Bunny or something like that.
What?
And it is
I've had
so
an ice cream
good.
bar.
No, it is... I'll have to show you.
I've had a 50-50 bar. I've had a big stick.
Ooh, tell me about it. Go on.
Daddy.
Daddy with a big stick. Did they know how to use it right?
No, a big stick was like it was just this really large popsicle that was pineapple and cherry flavored. And it was this like hybrid yellow red mixture that would like, it was kind of all swirly together in a popsicle. And they call them big sticks. They don't have those up here?
They probably do.
To be honest, I haven't seen one in a long time.
Okay,
Like
so...
since elementary school.
GoPuff has it. But it's just like this obscene, like, you know, all of it's like so
I've
fake.
seen that.
But
I haven't had one.
Oh, they're so good.
Can you still buy those?
Yeah.
We need to do one of those.
Yeah, look, apparently GoPuff, and I get this is free advertising for GoPuff, but they'll give it to you.
We need to do one of those for dessert one night.
We should. I haven't had them in
I feel
over a
like just on
decade.
principle we need to have them now.
We should.
Okay.
And you're going to be like, this is okay.
And you'll be like,
I'll
exactly
"This is
how I
amazing."
remember.
Like a tear's going to roll down my cheek, you know.
Tastes like nostalgia.
Yeah.
Tastes like twin cesting.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, yeah, so she has her bite of her fancy lunch.
And she is like crying
She's in heaven.
happy tears.
It's the most emotion we've ever seen her have.
Yes. And Tamaki gets to witness this from afar, and he's just like, I'm so glad you get to experience this food. And
I would want
love
this for
it."
you every day, my princess.
Yes.
Amazing.
He is just, you know, all about this. And okay, well, if that's the case, Tamaki, buy her lunch every day. You fucking fool.
Truth. And that wouldn't even cost that much for him.
It really wouldn't.
It's school lunch.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like maybe because they're in a fancy academy, lunch, like the cost of the lunch would probably be included in tuition. Maybe I'm wrong. Intuition. Fuck.
I was going to say
Tuition.
it must be.
Tuition.
Because otherwise wouldn't he get school lunch every day?
Right. But she just decides to bring
leftovers.
from home.
She would not.
Like a troglodyte.
She would not. Because she's so thrifty, she would eat her leftovers for dinner.
Yeah.
And eat school lunch.
That would make the most
it's obviously
sense.
it's getting paid for, especially by the fact that the twins got like 3 lunches that day. You know that they're just paying for that shit, and they're just trashing
they don't
it.
care.
They're just buying it and trashing it.
Yeah.
They don't even care.
Yeah. So, you know, that's what goes down in the fancy cafeteria. And so, like, there's not really that much that happens until the end. Until near the end.
We're at the end.
We're basically where the fight, the feud, whatever you want to call it, just really culminates into this big blow up. One of them has this wooden...
Culminates is such a good word.
Sometimes I throw good words
I was
out
gonna
there.
say comes to a head, but
That's how it
When
should.
we find out that what has happened.
One of them gets this wooden cat doll, which I guess is supposed to be kind of like a voodoo or curse doll.
Bringing our story full circle.
And to our dark gothic guy.
So now it all makes sense.
It does. It makes sense now.
Creepy guy sticking his head through the door.
Just there. And all of a sudden, it's one of the twins has, decided to borrow this cursed doll thing.
Borrow? They're just like rinsing and
Borrow.
reusing these.
Honestly, you probably do.
They just like put some white out on
They
it.
cleanse it, and
Yeah.
then it's like new again for
Just
another
sprinkle
curse.
some holy water on it.
Yeah, And I guess you're supposed to write something on the back of it, and I don't know, do some other stuff. So in the heat of the moment, one of the twins pulls it out and is like there writing something on the back, and that's when Haruhi just had enough, and she's like, "Stop it!"
So the entire host club, I remember, looks aghast by what's
Yes,
happening. The twins are
absolutely.
having this fight
They've lost.
they've never had before. It's this blow up. It's
huge.
unheard of.
Yeah,
No one knows what to do. Everybody is just
shocked.
yeah.
And
So of course it's Haruhi who
Yeah.
stops it. But on the precipice of, if you guys don't knock it off, then you will never be invited to my house.
yes,
Mischievous smile ensues.
on both of them.
Cat in the Hat style.
Yes,
Creepy.
they change
Creepy ass
immediately.
motherfuckers.
They
And then you find out that they've been pulling the strings the whole
Yes.
time.
Because earlier in the episode, they're like, yeah, Haruhi, you're our toy. Which is kind of disgusting to say unless you like that kind of thing. But
No, I do not.
okay, but there's people out there that
Don't
are, like,
play
here
games
for
with
it.
me. Please do.
I want to be your toy.
Daddy.
Daddy. So I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways,
Digress.
serious business here.
Please, Hannah, be
so-
serious for once. We're talking about
Gosh.
anime.
Gosh,
Get it together.
This is our livelihood, practically, but not really.
So what's happening?
So the twins are finally their feuding immediately stops as soon as Haruhi
course it
utters
does.
those words.
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, really?
Invite
Okay.
it over. You don't say.
So, if we stop fighting, then we can come over to your house." And then it all just immediately, without saying anything,
Everyone understands.
everything makes
Everyone
sense.
in the host club
This
understands
was
now.
a long play.
Oh, yeah. And by long play, we mean like a day.
Yeah, but that's a long play for most high
for
school
us.
students. I
Fair.
mean,
Fair.
high school relationships don't last that long usually. It's like,
But I mean, do
lunch
high
break.
school twin cesting ships?
It should never happen, but
Got
here
it.
we are.
Understood.
Here
Understood.
we are.
Understood.
So, yeah, come to find
Heard.
out, they came up with this plan to make this like fake feud happen, to get Haruhi to agree to have them over and visit and all that at her house, and she fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Sink her.
Sink her so hard.
We missed our cameo with Rengehe.
Oh yes,
Rengehe. We have to go
Renge.
back for a second.
Okay, yes.
Because she popped up out of nowhere in
She
in the
does.
middle of an episode and contributed absolutely nothing.
Nothing aside from, "What are you doing here, Renge?" And she's like, just
Just being your manager.
just being here because France is not ready for a host club, and I was gonna go over there so I can create a host club, but they're not ready for it, so I'm gonna stay here
Oh
and
my
be
god.
green."
Rengehe, get out of my living room.
I know.
Just kidding.
I know,
that
very
was so
accurate.
accurate.
Was
that
it?
was amazing. Also, you have to throw in the words manager somewhere
I'm
because
the manager.
yeah. Yes. Okay, that was totally her. Yeah.
It
So,
probably
anyways,
wasn't.
she was in the middle of the episode, did
Yeah, just-
absolutely nothing, but she did guest appear, and
She
I
did.
made the note to bring her up, but I didn't write it down, so I
Oh
forgot.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
forgot.
Because she's kind of, in this episode,
She was not a pivotal character. She just popped up. She was a guest appearance.
She was. And you're like, oh yeah, that character exists. And everyone's like, shut up, otaku. And I'm like, she's really not that otaku, considering, like...
I don't know these words you're saying.
Basically, a nerd. A Japanese nerd.
Oof.
Well, she's not even Japanese, but what I'm saying is she's, like, a nerd about Japanese culture, and it kind of stems from the fact that she
Okay.
or like what people would probably call a weeaboo now.
Yeah.
You know, but
I feel
she's
weird
really
to
not
use
that bad,
any kind of
though.
terminology. So I
Yeah.
go to the pharmacy this past week to pick up some prescriptions.
Uh-huh.
The line was long,
Oh.
so I'm playing a mobile game
Sure. That's what it is.
because it was a long ass line.
You gotta pass time somehow.
And then suddenly, the second I pull up this game and I'm actively engaged in the game, the line just is like moving, like lightning. And there's no phones at the pharmacy booth. So I casually try to like put it away.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But I'm like super engaged because I'm totally kicking ass at this game.
What game is it? Is it Best Fiends?
And so I really want to do well. And then this guy, the pharmacist.
Was he cute?
Dude.
Was he cute?
I declined to comment on that, but he was like,
Oh.
"Are you playing XYZ?" And I was like,
How'd you
"Yeah,
see
like a total nerd." And then I was like, "Oh, I mean, I guess if you know what game I'm playing, that means
it? You're a nerd too.
you're a nerd." And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that to you. Can you please not tamper with my drugs before you give them
Don't
to
spit
me?
in my drugs. Oh.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. Can you just give me my drugs, please?
Please stress. No.
Yeah.
Scratch his neck. It says
Yeah,
no.
so now I feel weird about being like
What game was
nerd
it?
or whatever because, you know, I essentially implied that and now I feel really bad.
No, it's fine. A nerd at this point is like a compliment.
Kind of is.
It's when you get like called a neckbeard or like a
Oh,
basement dweller.
Goodness,
or,
like every
or
GameStop
an
smells like
incel.
neckbeard.
Incel's pretty
I
bad.
can't walk past, I cannot drive past a GameStop without smelling neckbeard. It just,
Yeah,
you can smell
really
it a mile
does.
away.
It can be really uncomfortable going in there as like a
It
single
just
lady.
smells like Taco Bell and like masturbation.
and
It's awful.
desperation.
Ugh, so much of that, it reeks.
So much.
Okay, well, anyways, thanks for joining us for episode 5,
And
The
that's
Twins
it.
Fight. Join us next week for episode 6. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
Baka bye!